Welcome to part 4 and the last of our series on famous and amusing beer quotes. In this video, we will explore the remainder of quotes from famous people and quote of the century on beer that are both breathtaking and amusing. Let's get started. That's the problem with drinking, I thought, as I poured myself a drink. If something bad happens, you drink in an attempt to forget. If something good happens, you drink in order to celebrate. And if nothing happens, you drink to make something happen. The beer tastes good to my throat, cold and bitter, and the three boys in the beer and the queer freeness of the situation makes me feel like laughing forever. So I laugh, and my lipstick leaves a red stain like a bloody crescent moon on top of the beer can. I am looking very healthy and flushed and bright-eyed, having both a good tan and a rather excellent fever. The church is near, but the road is icy. The bar is far, but we will walk carefully. The difference between a drunk and an alcoholic is that a drunk doesn't have to attend all those meetings. The human intellect owes its superiority over that of the lower animals in great measure to the stimulus which alcohol has given imagination. The mouth of a perfectly happy man is filled with beer. The only way Ralph would remember our anniversary is if there was a beer named June 2nd. The problem with some people is that when they aren't drunk, they're sober. The sacred pint alone can unbind the tongue. The sway of alcohol over mankind is unquestionably due to its power to stimulate the mystical faculties of human nature, usually crushed to earth by the cold facts and dry criticisms of the sober hour. The troubles of our proud and angry dust are from eternity, and shall not fail. Bear them we can, and if we can we must. Shoulder the sky, my lad, and drink your ale. There are two kinds of people I don't trust: people who don't drink and people who collect stickers. There are worse ways to die than warm and drunk. There are, it has been said, two types of people in the world. There are those who, when presented with a glass that is exactly half full, say, "This glass is half full." And then there are those who say, "This glass is half empty." The world belongs, however, to those who can look at the glass and say, "What's up with this glass? Excuse me? Excuse me? This is my glass? I don't think so. My glass was full. And it was a bigger glass. Who's been pinching my beer?" There can be nothing more frequent than an occasional drink. There is an ancient Celtic axiom that says good people drink good beer. Which is true, then is now. Just look around you in any public barroom and you will quickly see, bad people drink bad beer. Think about it. There is no such thing as a bad beer. It's that some taste better than others. There is nothing which has yet been contrived by man by which so much happiness is produced as by a good tavern or inn. There's something wonderful about drinking in the afternoon. A not too cold pint, absolutely alone at the bar, even in this fake-ass Irish pub. Thirst is the end of drinking and sorrow is the end of drunkenness. Thirstily he set it to his lips, and as its cool refreshment began to soothe his throat, he thanked heaven that in a world of much evil there was still so good a thing as ale. This is grain, which any fool can eat, but for which the Lord has intended a more divine form of consumption. Let us give praise to our Maker and glory to His bounty by learning about beer. This leads to the great theory of human history, that we didn't start farming because we wanted food, there was loads of that around. We started farming because we wanted booze. "This must be Thursday," said Arthur to himself, sinking low over his beer. "I never could get the hang of Thursdays." To alcohol. The cause of, and solution, to all of life's problems. Unless you're a recovering alcoholic or Mormon or have liver problems, you should always have booze in the house. We were once invited to an acquaintance's place for brunch and they offered us green tea and salad and it was a fucking nightmare. We could not now take time for further search or consideration, our victuals being much spent, especially our beer. We Persians have a saying that one should deliberate serious matters first drunk, then sober. We should look for someone to eat and drink with before looking for something to eat and drink. "Well, I got a bad liver and a broken heart. Yeah, I drunk me a river since you tore me apart. And I don't have a drinking problem. 'Cept when I can't get a drink. Well, yeah, it doesn't really allow my dice to roll, and by dice I mean testicles. Speaking of testicles, let me get a beer.' What is said when drunk has been thought out beforehand. When I die, I want to decompose in a barrel of porter and have it served in all the pubs in Dublin. I wonder would they know it was me. When the beer goes in the wits go out. When things go wrong and will not come right, though you do the best you can, when life looks black as the hour of night, a pint of plain is your only man. When you come to the end of the line, with a buddy who is more than a brother and a little less than a wife, getting blind drunk together is really the only way to say farewell. When your companions get drunk and fight, take up your hat and wish them good night. Wherever beer is brewed, all is well. Wherever beer is drunk, life is good. Why did I get drunk? I do stupid things when I'm drunk, like sleep with my husband. William Faulkner is supposed to have said, civilization begins with distillation, but I'd push even further beyond just distilled spirits to wine, beer, mead, sake, all of it. Booze is civilization in a glass. Wine upon beer is very good cheer, beer upon wine consider with fear. Without question, the greatest invention in the history of mankind is beer. Oh, I grant you that the wheel was also a fine invention, but the wheel does not go nearly as well with pizza. Women should put a picture of their missing husbands on beer cans. You can't be a real country unless you have a beer and an airline. It helps if you have some kind of football team or some nuclear weapons, but in the very least you need a beer. You can't drink all day if you don't start in the morning. You cannot drink bread, you can't butter beer, and it takes at least 2 men to plow with a spear, and yet we got here. You see, drinking is a matter of algebraic ratio. How drunk you get is caused by the amount of alcohol you consume in relation to your total body weight. You see my point? It's not that you had too much to drink. You're just too skinny. You speak of my drinking, yet you don't know my thirst. Thank you for watching. Please, don't forget to like, share and subscribe to our channel.